Read that card. Let me read that card. Let me read that card. What does it say on that card?
And your name is not.
That's not even on that card. Hi, everybody. You know, I would screw around the house and do little things for my mom, and she's like, you should go on stage. You should be on stage. And painfully shy, didn't want to do it. And then in high school, finally in high school, when I was a junior in high school, I got cast as Jesus in Godspell. And then that was it. Because the other thing I wanted to do was be a veterinarian, but that requires math. And so, well, I'm not going to do that. I mean, who's going to do that? Isn't that why all you guys are here? So you don't have to do math? So we don't have to do math. Okay. I remember still vividly in my mind being on stage and feeling, you know, I was like 16 or 17, and I remember feeling like the audience was an organism that was a kind of a living, breathing organism that you were in communion with, pardon the pun. And so I thought, oh my gosh, this is, if you can feel like this on a regular basis, why wouldn't everybody do this? So that first benchmark was then, you know what I mean? And it wasn't about adulation or the teachers telling you did a good job or your friends. It was about that communion between you and the audience. When I went to the Penn State callback, there was something about what it ended up being. It was a sense that I got about them that ended up being prophetic, which was that I spent a good deal of time in this place with teachers who cared about teaching. You know what I mean? As opposed to, I've heard so many horror stories about universities where I'm an actor and it's not working out, I'm gonna go teach. I didn't have that experience. I had instructors and teachers who wanted to teach. And that was I had a sense about this place in that regard, and that's why I came here. And it's interesting because when you're acting with other actors who you know have some degree of training in some way, you can feel a different kind of rhythm when you're performing with them, and that they may have gotten some semblance of what I got from Manuel and Richard and Jane and Bob and Barry, and so there's that sense of the package that I was made, or the new parts that were put on me, all the skin and the bone, it's all been grafted into who I am. So even though the medium I work in now is short sketches, it's still, they're still just plays. They're just short plays. You still have to get something from the person you're acting with. You still have to try to achieve a reaction in them. You still have to, you know, so all that stuff has stayed with me. I told myself a long time ago, if I didn't get a little nervousness, that I would have to quit. And it's still coming. It's still coming. And as my friend Rebecca always says, she always says, if it scares you, then you should do it. Do your thing. Do what makes your heart sing. There are people who will come. Not everybody's gonna come. Never, ever will everybody come. But you can't worry about that. Can't worry about that. Because there's gonna be people in the audience who generally understand what you're talking about, and then there are gonna be people in the audience who completely identify with you. If the crew's giggling, you know the thing's a hit. The scene's finished, they go, it's funny stuff, man. It's funny. Funny stuff. That's why we have screenings of films. Because you'd go to the screening and then something falls flat and you go, oops, snip that out, and then it works. And then this falls flat. Open it, got. You just have to kind of shift and move everything around, but that's when that happens.
But we do have something here from Penn State. So.
Oh my God. Yeah. Oh my God, that is awesome. Woo.
Ladies and gentlemen, Keegan-Michael Key.
Yeah. Thank you.